Hello, and welcome back to our reading of Monster Mysteries. Without further ado, let us dive into this chapter, The African Dinosaur. Africa is a vast continent. It covers millions of square kilometers. Despite the fact that modern maps show mountain ranges and rivers, there are parts of Africa that are still relatively unexplored. Today, it is far easier to fly between towns than to drive along rough, uncomfortable roads. This means that air transport has become common, while many roads and tracks have fallen out of use. At the heart of the continent are the massive swamps of the Congo Basin. Few people live in these swamps, which spread over thousands of square kilometers. Only around the edge of the basin is there a scattering of villages. It was from these villages and swamps that news came which was to amaze scientists. In 1919, Mr. C.E. James came home to Britain after spending 18 years in the area around Lake Bangarilu. He told a remarkable story about an animal which the local tribesmen called a chepekre. The chepekre is known in many other places as the mokele-mbembe. James based his description of the chepekre or mokele-mbembe on the evidence of tribesmen. They told him that the animal was bigger than a hippopotamus, had a barrel-shaped body, and a long neck and tail. On the tip of its snout, the mokele-mbembe was said to have a small ivory horn. The description of the mokele-mbembe was very similar to that of sauropod dinosaur fossils which had been found. This led several people to believe that the mokele-mbembe was a dinosaur. The sauropod dinosaurs, such as Diplodocus, were a group of reptiles which lived throughout the world between 195 and 65 million years ago. The sauropods are believed to have died out along with all the other dinosaurs about 65 million years ago, and there is no evidence that any dinosaurs survived. However, no one can be sure that some did not. Whatever the truth of the matter, a very large animal of unknown type is reported to be living in the heart of Africa. There are many other reports from different areas of the same type of animal living in swampland. The pygmies, for instance, tell stories of an animal 16 meters in length, with a long neck and tail. The people concerned are nearly always cut off from each other geographically, so that it is unlikely that they could exchange stories. It would seem that the only explanation for these similar reports is that such an animal actually exists. The mokele-mbembe is the best reported of all these creatures. For several years, King Lewanika of the Barotse tribe passed on to scientists all the reported sightings of the mokele-mbembe brought to him by his subjects. On one occasion, the king himself saw the trail of the elusive creature. In 1919, Captain Leicester Stevens set out to hunt the Congo dinosaur, as he called it. Due to poor planning, Stevens never even reached the Congo. Slightly more successful was James Powell, who visited the Congo in the 1970s. He talked to local tribesmen and recorded their stories. He showed the Congolese people pictures of various animals. When he held out a picture of a sauropod dinosaur, the local people identified it as a mokele-mbembe. However, nothing could be proved by this. It still remains unlikely that a dinosaur has survived for millions of years. But if these eyewitnesses are not seeing a dinosaur. Nobody has yet explained what they are seeing. Surely these Congolese people are not imagining things. Ambitious plans are being prepared by Professor Roy Mackle of the University of Chicago. He has already visited the Congo swamps and now plans to return in an attempt to capture a mokele-mbembe. Mackle is convinced that there is some kind of large animal living in the remote swamps. There are not many scientists who would agree with him. However, if the dinosaur hunt were to be successful, there are many Africans who would not be at all surprised. After all, they have been telling people about them for years. Professor McCown's dinosaur hunt was planned in the late 1980s. Many years have passed, and while it may be real to the people of the area, to those of the outside world, the existence of the mokele-mbembe is a mystery. What do I think? I don't know. I've seen many strange things in my life, but a living dinosaur? I don't know. Next week we're back to the Americas for a very snaky tale. I'll see you then.